There's three royal stories this evening, a triptych of scandal, discomfort, and against all odds, a smattering of delight, and it's not where you expect it. The House of Windsor has outdone itself again in providing tabloid fodder, with Prince Andrew, King Charles, and Prince Harry all vying for our attention in various shades of interest. So, beginning with the embarrassing one, the word that hardly does justice to the plight of the Duke of York, who has once again found himself in the murky waters of financial intrigue, and it appears that Prince Andrew, in a bid to sustain the lifestyle to which he has become accustomed, has entered into a lucrative arrangement with a Dutch firm, Startup Boot Camp, which aims to reignite his global network pitch at the palace. The same network, mind you, that was meant to fade into oblivion when he was excommunicated from royal duties in the wake of that catastrophic Newsnight interview. Prince Harry proving that royal banishment need not be synonymous with misery, and that really this is somebody who we should have in the heart of in the bosom of the royal family. The Duke of Sussex at the Invictus Games in Vancouver was given a pair of budgie smugglers by the Australian team, tight, skimpish swimwear in a shade of humour that would leave the occasional diver looking uncomfortable, and something that Andrew could never have pulled off. And with characteristic irreverence, Harry declared it so inappropriate, I love it. In a moment of levity, he reminds us why, despite all the transatlantic acrimony, he remains fundamentally more likeable than so many others in the royal family. His wife Meghan, ever the brand-conscious Duchess, leaned into the softer feel-good moments, reading to children about inclusivity, mingling with families, being photographed holding a baby, an echo. And therein lies the crux of our royal hierarchy of newsworthiness. Prince Andrew, still desperately clinging to influence, remains a source of deep embarrassment. King Charles, attempting to quietly support causes close to his heart, finds himself awkwardly dragged into the political limelight. And Prince Harry, the supposed outcast, emerges as the only one with any sense of dignity, frankly. Perhaps there's a lesson here. Exile, when voluntary, is often liberation. In shedding the weight of expectation, Harry has found his way to enjoy a role, even if that role now involves being a poster boy for Team Australia's finest swimwear. And, the next thing he's going to get into is knitting, I suppose. Meanwhile, back in Britain, the monarchy continues its delicate balance between scandal, service, and sheer absurdity. And so the royal soap opera, rolls on.
Greetings and a warm welcome to the Sussex Ambassador channel. We're here to provide you with a captivating and riveting discussion platform focusing on the royal personalities you so admire. As your trusted source for intriguing narrative and thought-provoking discourse surrounding the British monarchy, we aim to bring to the forefront the stories that matter to you. We encourage all our viewers to become part of our ever-growing community by subscribing to our channel. By doing so, you'll ensure you never miss a beat when it comes to the latest news, updates, and in-depth conversations about the royals. Your subscription helps us continue to deliver the quality content that you enjoy and anticipate. Today we're going to delve into an exceptionally captivating topic. It's all about Professor Tim Wilson's commendation for Prince Harry and his sharp criticism of the Windsor family. This is not just a topic, but a profound discussion that invites varied perspectives and thought-provoking dialogues. We're certain this will lead to several fascinating debates among our viewers and generate a buzz in the royal fandom. So sit back, relax, and prepare yourself for an enthralling discussion that promises to be as entertaining as it is informative. Be prepared to engage, reflect, and contribute your thoughts to our discussion. Stay tuned as we delve deeper into the subject matter. Professor Tim Wilson, a well-known academic, recently shared his thoughts on Prince Harry. For the uninitiated, Professor Wilson is a towering figure in the scholarly realm, with an illustrious career that has been unfolding over several decades. His reputation is unassailable, his credentials impeccable, and his scholarly contributions significant, making him a highly venerated personality in academia. His views and insights carry a significant amount of heft in intellectual circles, resonating with depth, knowledge, and critical acumen. This time, the focus of his erudite attention has been the Invictus Games, a unique international sporting event specifically designed for wounded, injured, and unwell military personnel. This event is the brainchild of none other than Prince Harry, who is known for his philanthropic endeavors and commitment to worthy causes. The Games are currently in full swing in the cosmopolitan city of Vancouver, Canada, a setting that is as vibrant and diverse as the participants involved. The event has been capturing a considerable amount of attention and interest, not just for its noble cause, but also for its competitive spirit and the incredible resilience of the participants. Amidst this buzz and activity, Professor Wilson, with his sharp intellect and deep-seated analytical skills, has been closely observing the Games and Prince Harry's role in them. His keen eye has been deciphering the dynamics, the implications, and the broader significance of the event. A respecter of deep thought and critical analysis, Professor Wilson's observations are always eagerly anticipated and widely respected. His insights are not just viewpoints, they often serve as the catalyst for stimulating discussions and thought-provoking debates. When he voices his thoughts on public figures like Prince Harry, it piques curiosity, stirs conversations, and often inspires introspection. And what does Professor Wilson think of Prince Harry? Let's find out. Professor Wilson has openly credited Prince Harry for his dignity and sense of purpose. This declaration, coming from a figure of such academic stature, is deeply meaningful. It testifies to the influence that Prince Harry has wielded, not just within the confines of the royal, but in the broader international arena. Professor Wilson is unreserved in his admiration for Harry. He praises Harry's dedication to the Invictus Games, an international event for wounded, injured, and sick military personnel. Guided by Harry, the Games has transformed into a symbol of hope, strength, and resilience, embodying the unyielding spirit of humanity. It transcends beyond the realm of simply winning medals. It encapsulates overcoming adversity, fostering a sense of unity and support. But Harry's influence doesn't stop at the Invictus Games. He's harnessed his public status to draw attention to mental health, breaking down stigmas and misunderstandings. By openly discussing his personal battles, he's motivated others to follow suit, creating an atmosphere where vulnerability is accepted and not shamed. However, Harry isn't the only one to earn Wilson's respect. He's spoken highly of Meghan Markle, Harry's better half, and the Duchess Sussex. Meghan, akin to Harry, has leveraged her fame to rallies for causes she's passionate about. She's been a vocal advocate for women's rights, racial equality, and education. To Wilson, Meghan's efforts represent a model of how to handle attention with dignity and purpose. However, it's not all accolades. Wilson exhibits a stark contrast in his perception of the Sussexes compared to the rest of the Windsor family. He's forthright in his criticism of the Windsor family, openly criticizing their moral shortcomings, especially in the of Prince Andrew and King Charles. There's an undeniable dichotomy in Wilson's view of Harry and Meghan as a revitalizing presence within an antiquated institution. In sum, the praise for Harry and Meghan stands stark against the critique for the rest of the family, reflecting the complexity of dynamics. But it's not all praise from Professor Wilson. He has some harsh words for the rest of the Windsor family. While Professor Wilson admires Prince Harry, he doesn't hold back when it comes to the Windsors. He has been quite open about his disapproval of the Windsor family's actions. His criticisms, sharp as a razor's edge, have stirred significant controversy. His most striking critique targets their alleged moral failings. Professor Wilson hasn't been shy in expressing his disappointment, particularly with Prince Andrew and King Charles. These two figures have often been the center of public scrutiny. He views Prince Andrew as a representation of the royal family's flaws. His entanglement in scandals and controversies has been a point of concern for Professor Wilson, who believes such behavior isn't befitting of a royal. King Charles hasn't escaped his critical eye either. The professor perceives a lack of moral strength in him. He has pointed out occasions where King Charles has, in his opinion, failed to uphold the monarch's standards. He believes these supposed shortcomings have negatively impacted the royal family's reputation. These critiques may be harsh, but they stem from Professor Wilson's belief that those in power should uphold the highest standards. As the face of the British monarchy, the Windsors have his particular attention. Whether or not one agrees with his views, it's undeniable that they've ignited a crucial conversation about the royal family's role and conduct. The discussions have raised questions about morality, responsibility, and expectations for those in power. Yet it's vital to remember that his criticisms don't target all royal family members. Professor Wilson has shown admiration for Prince Harry, lauding him for his dignity, commitment to service, and his ability to navigate through turmoil. Professor Wilson's remarks have certainly stirred up a conversation. Regardless of whether you perceive his criticisms as warranted or too harsh, they've undeniably added depth to the ongoing dialogue around the Windsors. Professor Wilson's comments have sparked quite a debate. A whirlwind of perspectives engulfs the globe, with his remarks fueling discussions from London's cobblestones, New York's bustling streets, Sydney's coffee hubs, and Singapore's lively night markets. Countless are lauding Professor Wilson for his candidness, nodding in approval of his audacity to speak out about Prince Harry's dignified stand and his distinct position within the royal family. They acknowledge Harry's dedication to the Invictus Games, extending a nod of respect to Meghan's contributions. Many echo Professor Wilson's criticisms of the Windsors, expressing disappointment in what they perceive as a moral deficiency within the family. They're questioning the principles of those left behind, and their criticisms are unabridged. However, there are those who object, contending that Professor Wilson's comments are excessively harsh and overgeneralized. They press for a more intricate discourse, pushing back, ensuring their voices are part of this dynamic dialogue. What's exceptional is the scope of this debate. It's not merely about royalty or celebrity, but about values, dignity, and the essence of leading with integrity. It's a dialogue extending beyond headlines, reaching into our core values and principles. We extend an invitation for you to participate, share your viewpoints. Do you concur with Professor Wilson? Or do you have a contrasting perspective? All voices are welcome in this discourse. After all, it's through dialogue that we challenge our beliefs, expand our knowledge, and evolve as individuals and as a society. It's clear that Professor Wilson's views have struck a chord with many. Regardless of whether you concur with him or not, it's irrefutable that his comments have ignited a conversation that's worth having. That's all for today's discussion on Professor Tim Wilson's comments. We value you taking time to lend an ear to the Invictus Games and perspectives from figures like Professor Wilson. Without your support, such conversations wouldn't be possible. Ensure you're subscribed to us and share this video to spread awareness. Thank you for joining us on the Sussex Ambassador channel. We eagerly await your return.